The people tell the government what it is allowed to do. We the people are free.
I'm going to go out and say it. I don't think that Puppet's balls have even dropped yet. I don't care who knows it. You know, we have the meats, Arby's. Yeah, so-called meats. He hasn't taken me to go eat any meats. I don't even know about the so-called meats in his little puppet pants. So
listen. I've got all the meats, the salamis, the pastrami's, the mortadella. I got it all down there. But you know what? I got to tell you guys about this dream I had last night.
Is it about
I don't
salami?
know if
because
we should be telling you about.
You guys want to hear about this dream?
I don't think so.
Well,
No,
I'm
I
kind
think
of intrigued now.
No, I don't really. I really don't want to
hear this.
No,
it was crazy. It was
yeah,
a crazy
no
dream.
chilies.
No.
Alan.
I really.
Thanks for asking.
I think we don't save the dream, and we'll talk about that after the show. Maybe in like an after show. What do you think, Puppet? I don't know if we want to hear about this.
Is it a wet dream?
Well, I haven't told you about it yet. You won't let me get to it. So, I mean, fine then, Dave. Dave wants to be a trad dad and ruin all the fun.
I say Puppet save the dream. Puppet save the dream.
I think why don't you just give us a preview of the dream, and
Give
then
us
I'll
the
tell
cliff
everybody
notes
what
of
we're
the
talking
dream.
about tonight.
Well, if you give me a shot, I can tell you about the dream. You guys are both in the dream.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds to tell about the dream, then I'm telling the audience what we're talking about tonight.
Well, Dave, you know what? This is not your show. This is our show. Right?
Well,
and so I'm right now.
Power to the people. Tell the dream.
That's right.
Fast.
So I'm telling you this dream. I got to tell the people the dream because the dream's important. So I'm staggering home from a bar. It was a sketchy bar the other night. My fuzz, it's reeking like cheap whiskey. And this trench coat wearing weirdo jumps out. He's kind of like, looks half iguana, half conspiracy nut. And he grabs me and he yells, "You're the chosen one, Puppet." And I'm like, dude, I'm just a guy with a lint problem. And then suddenly I'm in a warehouse spinning on a disco ball. And he's ranting about how I'm going to save humanity. And then you, Dave, out of nowhere, pop up in the dream. And you're grinning because I'm tied to a disco ball. And you're like savoring at the mouth because now you got a chance at the manhole, right?
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about
wait, Dave,
Puppet.
I got to tell you where this goes. This is amazing.
It's
This
the
gets
savoring
crazy.
sound effect.
So I'm like, Dave, this guy's trying to tell me about the prophecy. I'm the chosen one.
We got to start the show, Puppet.
Dave, listen, Dave. This is important. So I know you want to get in the back door. So
the show's going to be over before you're done with your dream.
And his
Dave.
balls still haven't dropped by then.
Dave.
Okay.
So then
I'm
my phone buzzes. I
Uh-huh.
answer the phone. It's Taylor. She's texted me on Signal.
Uh-huh.
It's our secret Let's Dave ditch Dave chat line.
Uh-huh.
It's a private
Did it
line
get
where we
leaked
talk
by
about
Jeff
getting you out of
Goldberg?
the show. And then we're typing back and forth, and I'm like, help, I got this. I'm stuck in this warehouse. Send some snacks. And then
We're going to have to go to a commercial.
somehow I wake up.
That's it?
It was
sweating.
definitely a fantasy because there have been no steamy
All right.
signal text
So
between
we're
us.
going to talk about Signal.
But now somehow you are spying on our Signal chat.
Oh,
and I
God.
don't know how that happened, Dave.
Okay. We're going to talk about Signal chat spying tonight. We also got some surprises in store for Taylor. We're going to talk about something that's sort of controversial out there, but I'm not telling her what it's about. She's going to have to be shocked on that. We have a very special guest tonight, if he's still going to join us, with his beautiful, beautiful wife, Simona Papadopoulos and George Papadopoulos, if they don't run away after that monologue. And, of course, we're going to talk about a lot of really interesting things with them. Crossfire Hurricane classified file releases. And we're going to see how after that, I think if we have time, we're going to talk about how stupid liberals might be. But we can't talk about any of that until we start the show, which if Puppet says it's okay, we can do that now.
Sure, Dave.
Cool.
Step
Then all
on
of that
my
is
good
coming
lines.
up tonight on Politically Uncensored.
Free your mouth and your mind will follow. Speak your truth, don't wait for tomorrow. Words
Friday,
like
one big news
rivers
today
can
on
carve through stone.
place is insane.
Yeah, they did. She did it under oath.
It's just too much
Silence
noise and it becomes
too
negative. So
heavy to bear alone.
Named the Celebrity Whisperer by Playboy.
Thanks for having me.
Write your fears on the back of the wind. Tear down the walls you were raised within. Chains of whispers rust and break. The cost of freedom is the noise you make.
Free speech in America is back.
let me tell you something, Puppet. Backstage, like we're over on pill.net. Our great audience is returning on Pilled. And Maven's over there saying, first she says, listen, Puppet, Taylor wins. That's first of all.
Given. Thank you, Megan.
Taylor always wins. And
Megan the GOAT. Megan, not all heroes wear capes.
Jolly Roger wants to know about the Gabagoo. But then Maven says control
I got the
puppet.
Gabagool. Absolutely got the Gabagool.
Megan, do we think
Maven.
do we think that the disco ball and puppet stream was an omen to my sneaking women's intuition suspicion that his balls have not dropped
Oh my God.
yet?
What is the obsession, Taylor, with his
He did
balls?
the swerve. He did the swerve like Trump. And I'm going to call it out. I'm not having it. He did the swerve like Trump, but he hasn't mastered it like Trump, unfortunately. He swerved to his dream, never answered my question. So fine, we will just leave that up.
The problem is I cannot operate, Taylor. I cannot operate with a trad dad like Dave just stepping all over my opportunity to talk. You know, I'm trying to tell a story here. He's pooping on my parade.
What about a
just
short
like he
open?
poops on everybody else's stuff?
Or a liberal poops on a Tesla.
You're a puppet. I
that's
get
right.
it. You're new to media. I get it. You're new to media. When you do the short open,
I'm new to media.
it's supposed to be short. Like short. It's 10:08 p.m.
Yeah,
we have 52,
he knows a little something about short.
We have 52 minutes left in the show, and the audience only knows about your disco balls.
Well, you know what? We're gonna run this up the flagpole and see what the old producer thinks.
Are we gonna go talk to? Are we gonna talk to corporate?
We're gonna talk to corporate.
Who do we report this to?
I'm gonna
Who's
come
the
back
H-
next week.
Who's the
We're gonna find out who's right.
You know what?
the
You
HR of Politically Uncensored.
Puppet,
I
you're
love
not
it.
the assistant host. You're the assistant to the host.
He's the assistant hoe, is what he is.
Jesus.
Listen,
She's really mad at you, buddy.
I'm not the.
Yeah.
Jolly
I'm the
Roger
show.
gifted a cookie. Thank you, Jolly Roger. All right, look.
Not
you guys,
Alan calling us out. Not Alan calling us out.
do you guys want to talk about this signal chat thing? And I'm going to tell you, we're going to take a different angle on it because a lot of people have been talking about it. Oh, Maven gifted a month bronze tier subscription, 2 of them. And Jolly Roger claimed the month bronze tier subscription. Pilt's going crazy tonight, Puppet.
Dang, Jolly Roger, you're the Jolly Rancher of my Halloween dreams.
There you go. Listen,
Officially.
if you guys are not on pill.net, if you're watching in the
And
other
she likes to
chats,
suck on those.
you guys got to check out
Well, you wouldn't know, would you?
Pilled. All right, listen.
Anyways,
Um,
so Dave, here's
yes.
the thing. Trad Dad, break it down for me
All right.
because I've taken this in with the whole signal controversy.
Yes.
And I don't mean for my blonde to be blonding here, but I got to be honest with
You're
you.
blonde to be blonding.
I don't want the blonde to be blonding. Sometimes I like for the blonde to blonde and pop. This isn't one of those moments. And so I want to ask you, I've been taking it all in. I've been seeing all the commentary. I saw Trump denying it, Pete Hegseth. I saw Tulsi testify, all this, right?
Mhm.
It seems like there was a little mishap. They got caught. And they're in deny. I don't mean to sound ignorant,
Mhm.
but is this what is shaking and baking out
So look here. Let me. Here's Pete Hegseth on it. Check it out.
there?
One question.
Can you share how your information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in The Atlantic? And were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, to include the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people on both sides hoax, or suckers and losers hoax. So this is the guy that peddles in garbage. This is what he does. I would love to comment on the Houthi campaign because of the skill and courage of our troops. I've monitored it very closely from the beginning. And you see, we've been managing 4 years of deferred maintenance under the Trump administration. Our troops, our sailors were getting shot at as targets. Our ships couldn't sail through. And when they did shoot back, it was purely defensively or at shacks in Yemen. President Trump said, no more. We will reestablish deterrence. We will open freedom of navigation, and we will ultimately decimate the Houthis.
So that's Pete Hegseth. He's saying that this guy Jeff Goldberg is a bum, essentially.
He's a scum loser journalist for The Atlantic.
Yeah,
Let's be clear.
and let me give you some background on this guy real quick. So I was like, let me find some. But now, by the way, if you do a Google search, Google's not going to give you any negative information. You're actually going to have to do some research on your own. If you guys don't know who this Jeff Goldberg guy is, let me explain who he is. If you guys remember. Do you remember actually when a lot of liberals will accuse Trump of saying that he said that soldiers who died in war were suckers and losers? Do you remember that hoax?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of liberals think that's true, that Trump actually called soldiers who died in war suckers and losers. The report relied on an anonymous source that led to immediate denials from President Trump, of course, and several officials present at the time also denied it. Media outlets, quote-unquote, corroborated the stories. It turned out to be a total hoax. Guess who published that hoax? Our friend Jeff Goldberg. Now we're to believe that this guy, Jeff Goldberg, who hates President Trump, all of a sudden gets added to this Signal chat. And by the way, everybody's talking about war plans. Do you know where Pete Hegseth has denied the war plans? Tulsi Gabbard has denied the war plans. Donald Trump has denied the war plans. Do you know the only person who said that they're war plans? Jeff Goldberg. That was the title of his Atlantic article. He says war plans were leaked. Nobody's seen these quote-unquote war plans because he hasn't released them. Instead, we see innuendo text messages suggesting they were talking about something classified. They've all denied it. So what's the truth? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Eventually, Jeff Goldberg is eventually going to release these text messages, some of them on Signal, and it's not going to be there, but it's too late because you have people like Ass Off, and I'll show you like the indignation of this guy. Check it out.
Director Radcliffe, this was a huge mistake, correct?
No.
A national political...
Hold on.
No, you
Let me
hold
answer.
on. No, Director
The
Radcliffe, I asked you a yes or no question, and now you hold on. A national political reporter
You can characterize it how you want.
was made privy
The White
to
House has made
sensitive information
clear
about
that there
imminent
was an
military
inadvertent
operations against a
mistake,
foreign terrorist
an inadvertent
organization.
mistake of adding a reporter.
And that wasn't a huge
to a
mistake?
Signal.
That wasn't a huge mistake?
Well, I think they characterized
This is
it as
an
a
embarrassment.
mistake.
Yeah, well, so of course, all of this is happening. The media won't shut up about it. I think Timu Obama, that's, you know who Timu Obama is, right? Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader in Congress.
Of course, yeah.
So Timu Obama has called for Pete Hegseth's resignation. I think they've called for Mike Waltz's resignation. Look, and these are the people who backed Hillary Clinton's private server and smashing devices with hammers and bleach bit. But look, and Taylor, to answer your question...
Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Nothing wrong with it at all. To answer your question in a very long-winded way, people use Signal all the time. This app is the most secure encrypted communications that people can have. Are they supposed to not talk to each other and run into a skiff every time they have a 5-minute conversation on non-classified materials? Signal chats, everybody in Congress uses, Ass Off, I'm sure, uses Signal chats. Hakeem Jeffrey probably uses Signal chats. Everybody uses Signal
It's where they
chats.
share all their child porn.
Well, that can be I don't know anything about that, puppet.
That's where it all goes, guys.
Is that what you've been so caught up with that you can't even slide into my Signal?
No, look, listen, you got to check your Signal. I already sent you some
okay, yeah,
some
likely
meatballs on
story.
there, babe.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
meatball
I have a
pics.
better shot at this Jeff who's giving us Jews and journalists a bad name at running something, somewhat fair than a slide into my Signal from you, little guy. So,
well, so
just because you caught me texting Miss Piggy the other night doesn't mean that you have to get so bent out of shape about it. So I like bacon. Give me a break. Who doesn't?
I didn't know you were texting Rosie O'Donnell, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, they have Signal in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
So
and plenty of fatty food, so she's going to be very happy there. So the thing is, this is a story that's clearly invented by Jeff Goldberg.
Just missing Madonna's pussy. That's all.
Well,
she's in a league of their own. What do you want?
Imagine their Signal. Imagine their Signal exchange. I mean, imagine that. Really quick, guys, before we continue, Dave, I want to know something that you too, whether it's your Signal, your text, your photo album, that you will admit if it got out there, you would be like, oh, snappity snap.
I don't have anything.
I know
trad
dads are the ones you have to watch out for.
That
okay,
That is true.
Come on, Puppet. What's on your camera roll? What's in your text?
Well, you know, I have lots of pictures of half-naked puppets. I mean, I am a mannequin American, so you know how a lot of times we're naked.
What do we think Dave has?
Dave has all the.
Dave has a lot of regret for agreeing to do this show.
I had some regret at the beginning of the show when you cut me off for my dream story, which was epic, by the way.
So
yeah,
are we still talking about Signal? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know which took me to a more cinematic place, the Pete Hegseth clip or Puppet's disco ball dream. But either way, it's like a big fever dream that we are just here on the show. So, anyways,
look,
guys,
the Pete Hegseth thing. I'll comment on that.
Listen, the founder of Pilled says you're misbehaving, Puppet. Just letting you know.
Dave, give him a spanking. He could use it.
He is so uncomfortable when we talk about anything other than straight up politics. He just cannot handle it. It's either my manhole or politics.
I love to see him squirm. How about the word moist? How about the word moist? Does it do it?
He likes to see me squirm when he tries to get his little fingers in there.
In your moist manhole.
In my little manhole, moist manhole.
All right, listen.
Okay, guys.
Can we get on topic?
Wait,
I'm getting on topic here, Dave.
I have a fun personal story about how the Atlantic is trash, but if you guys want to
talk
hear
about that, can we please talk about that?
We can take it to a personal. We can take it to a popular vote. Electoral vote. Okay. So you guys know, and by the way, when Trump was asked about this and whether he knew about it or not, I think he obviously did. And he was just like, I know nothing about this, but he was basically like, the Atlantic is trash and is a dumpster firestorm anyways. Well, guess what, guys? I have my experience with this. So I actually interviewed Dave Portnoy, saw it in the intro, and I interviewed him at the height of when he was getting dragged, and there was an Business Insider Me Too hit piece against him, which was total also trash. And Dave came on my show to talk about it. But before he came on, I wrote an op-ed and I pitched it everywhere, basically saying, look, I was a red carpet reporter on the front lines of Me Too. I saw the whole thing unfold. What Insider's doing right now to Dave Portnoy is not actually helping real victims or women. So I pitched it everywhere, right? Guess what? I got a response from the Atlantic literally saying, they were basically like, Taylor, this is a really important, great piece, but basically like, we can't run this. And so, because of course, Dave is like right-leaning, is like, God forbid, we could never publish a piece that is favorable of a guy like Dave Portnoy. So basically in my inbox, I still have the receipts to this day. They denied it, even though admitting it was a good piece, but it worked out because I self-published it and Dave caught wind of it. And that's why he came on my show. And he talked about the whole Atlantic thing, even afterwards on his show on Barstool.
Wow.
So the Atlantic, you can go write up Puppet's manhole as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
My manholes for good things, not bad things.
That remains to be seen.
So yeah,
unless it's
I think, and I doubled down on that. I really do think that at the end of the day, this is going to be a nothing. I don't the war plans are not going to be war plans, but it's not going to be mattered. It's not going to matter because once the lie is told, they'll continue to repeat those lies and they'll carry this lie throughout the next 8 years. Oh, that's because Pete Hegseth and J.D. Vance leaked classified war plans. And it's going to, just like Suckers and Losers, war plans is now what it's going to be called. This is a media hit job. And that's all I have to say about Signal.
Yeah. And not to be confused with a media, hand job. But I was going to say, Dave, the stories like this that the mainstream left-leaning media does like to stroke off, for me, it highlights the hypocrisy of the things like this that they will go ham on and slap the ham to all day long, but overlook things. I mean, let me count the ways, right? And it's the sheer hypocrisy that we are seeing. Like, no matter how legit or not this entire thing is, the mere fact that these people covered up and lied about the fact that our sitting president was a goddamn corpse for at least 2/3 of his term is an abomination, is embarrassing, but they're going to go all in on this. So case in point, or like peaceful protests. How could we forget the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan? So the hypocrisy is showing. It's not cute.
No,
it's a mess.
No, I agree with you. It's hypocrisy, but that's the business that they trade in. Look, let's talk. let's talk about something a little bit different. It's funny. I dragged, so I have the monitor in front of me that you guys see me talking through, and that's where I have the whole broadcast on, where I click buttons, and then I have Pilled over here open so I can engage in the chat with our friends. And I drag Pilled over, and I see you talking different. I'm like, what is? Anyway, I'm having a night. Puppet threw me off, and I don't think I'm going to recover. So let's pivot from Signal. And Matt1776 in the back, he asked what if Signal got hacked, what the scoop. The 10-second rundown is J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth, and Mike Waltz and a bunch of high-level officials, Tulsi Gabbard, were in a Signal chat, and in that Signal chat, they were discussing the attack on the Houthis in Yemen. Supposedly, a reporter was added, Jeff Goldberg. Jeff Goldberg, instead of doing the right thing and saying, hey, guys, I don't think you meant to include me on this, and bowing out like a normal human being who loves America, he decided to write an article in The Atlantic about it and totally threw everybody under the bus, claiming he was privy to war plans. But nobody's seen those war plans yet, and it is an accident. You're exactly right, Maven. How did I do?
Because he's being a good guy and not publishing the war plans.
Yeah, good
it's
guy.
all weaponized language bullshit from
Correct.
the left. Typical stuff that they
Correct.
do. Let's create a narrative. Let's use some weaponized language and let's blow it out of proportion.
Correct.
You know, it's
All
like
right.
it's what Rosie O'Donnell does, a big fat windbag.
That's
blowing
100%
things out
correct.
of proportion.
I agree with you with that. So this one's for Taylor. We're going to pivot here real quick because in addition to whore plans being leaked,
Did you say whore plans?
Maven says he's pretty sure is on purpose.
A hit job, hand job. Oh,
Yeah. So in addition to war plans being leaked this week, another
hit
thing
job.
happened that was a massive flop. Besides Puppet's ability to take you out on a date,
Your opening?
We are 8 minutes behind, and all I know is about disco balls and inappropriate language. Hang on, this is what also flopped this week.
uh-oh.
Dave.
No longer 1937. She's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in.
No.
She is an insufferable ass.
She really is, sweetheart.
I felt like I was
Sweetheart.
going to drop my signature line on that one again.
Thank you, Puppet, for not.
But I
Please
held
do.
back
Thank you.
because she definitely fits the bill.
I get
I'll
it.
see you next Tuesday, Dave.
Yeah. Well,
Which
so
no one is going to see this movie
Well,
on
that's
Tuesday
what I want
or
to
any
ask
day.
you, Taylor. It's down to like 1 point something on that IMDb. It's got like 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a massive flop. Disney spent like $270 million producing it. It's so far in its opening weekend made like $88 million. Massive flop. And Maven says she has back hair, which I've seen online is true. So Taylor, you're the Hollywood chick. Has Disney's wokeness finally gone too far? This chick hates the movie that she signed up to be an actor in, and then destroyed it.
It's everything. Listen,
So go ahead.
Thank you for gifting me the surprise. I truly had no idea where this was going to go.
I knew you would love
I
this.
feel like Christmas came early, and yes, this
Puppet.
movie exactly was like the biggest flop. To your point, Dave, like Puppet's saggy little cotton.
Oh God,
ball disco balls, pee cotton pee. Okay, Puppet
Pee-pee
cotton
boo-boo.
tail pee.
Listen,
Exactly.
first of all, this profile says different.
The profile can take you only so far, sweetheart, just like Rachel Ziegler's acting skills, apparently. So, guys,
That doesn't take you very far.
This movie cost $400 million to make. Domestically and globally, it's made about a combined like $80 million. Like,
Right.
This is an embarrassment. Need I say more than the fact that they resurrected this? Nobody asked, and they cast Snow White as a brown girl. Guys, this doesn't mean and by the way, you have left-leaning outlets even calling out the whole insanity of this entire cluster F. Just make a new movie. Here's a thought. try to make something original, make a new movie. And this girl railing in, like, now the CGI dwarves are misogynistic because they want to come and help the woman. Like, just literally get over yourself, okay? You're not doing yourselves any favors. I don't even know if you can buy yourself a bucket of AMC popcorn, Rachel Ziegler, from the profit you were going to make from this movie. So good luck with that. And this is also a girl who went on the Free Palestine BS, having a whole funeral, mourning and grieving the day Trump was elected because it was a day of mourning and starting the doomsday ahead, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, get us to the box office and then we'll talk, sweetie. Somebody has a better idea of how to get attention and eyeballs, namely Trump, than you, sis.
Yeah. But listen,
Get a life.
She represents all the hate. And I know she's probably going to get mad because I said she's a liberal white woman, but she embodies perfectly the hate of the liberal white woman. And it's just, she hates America. She hates Disney. She hates the movies Disney produced.
She's a Gen Z brat.
Right.
She is a Gen Z brat.
She's a Gen Z brat.
Totally.
And girl, it was made in the 30s. Get a reality check.
Right.
Okay. And I wish I had known about this story because I've interviewed Gal Gadot many times, who is an Israeli queen. I have an interview with her for Wonder Woman. And I was like, Gal, I love you. My family loves you. And she goes in her little like Israeli accent. She's like, I love them too. So sweet. That was a really sad rendition of that. But anyways, I could probably do a better job than Rachel Ziegler at this role. And so too bad, Disney, you learned the hard way.
And if I can real quick, and I'll throw over you, Puppet, because I can tell you if something to say. Hopefully it's not rated X. I'm so thrown off by you tonight, Puppet. I'm seriously, like, my train of thought is freaking, like, left the station, but I'm going to catch up.
He bewitch you with his disco balls and put you in a trance in some sort of puppet hex?
It's just, I keep replaying the trauma of the first 15 minutes of the show in my head over and over again. I feel like Rachel Ziegler traumatized by the 1930s. But no, this shows...
I can't even get words out. Tongue-tied.
This shows that... where the direction of Disney is by hiring somebody like her, allowing her to go on a press junket and talk about how outdated and how inappropriate the 1930s traditional stories that Disney used to tell. Remember, we all showed our kids, everybody watching who has kids, and showed them Disney movies. Thank you, Gorilla, for the cookie on Pilled. All of the people who showed his children, look, the Cinderella story, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. It's a feel-good time where you had an intact family unit. Well, the mother's always, either the father dies and the mothers kill people, but take that away. But the idea is, what's wrong with having a strong male figure that's going to come and save a woman? Can a woman not rely on a male? Are we supposed to pretend that all little girls want a prince to come to their rescue? They dream of it. But if Disney had their way, little trans women would come, or trans men would come and save them with little, like, rainbow swords. Like, this is what Disney wants, and they hired this chick because they just like liberals are embarrassed of America. I believe Disney executives are embarrassed in Disney, and they hire these people who hate Disney, just like liberals keep electing people that hate America. And it brings it all full circle for everybody here listening, is that these people hate everything American, including our Disney stories, our Disney the heritage, our American heritage. This is what they hate. They hate it all. They want to destroy it. But guess what? Suck it, because this is capitalism and they're not making any money. I'm going to land there, Puppet. Go ahead.
That was great, Dave.
Thank you.
Like it when you say suck it.
I know you do.
Do it again, Dave.
That's because you
suck it.
Oh!
Suck it.
Oh!
But I mean, that's like PG-13.
Oh, that's going on a shirt.
PG-13. I could say suck it, and they can go on regular television on ABC.
Remember middle school would be like this?
Yeah.
Suck it. But the stuff that's been coming out of Puppet's mouth, literally, anyway, go ahead.
This would be a box office smash, by the way. Instead of 7 doors, it's 7 Puppet Carlsons. Imagine.
Wait.
I'm Dave. I can't even talk.
Is there an adult?
All right,
is
Dave.
he on acid tonight? Where are we on acid, or is he?
Taylor, I think something happened during his plastic surgery or his cotton surgery. I think they forgot to put his brain back in.
I think the Ozempic got to his head. I think the ghost of Joan Rivers and her plastic surgery took over him, and he needs an exorcist.
I agree with you. All right, Puppet. We got the Papadopoulos waiting to come on.
This a million times.
Turn this thing up to 20.
This chick's terrible. I guess what, Rachel Ziegler? People want to be rescued by a princess. People want true love. They don't want, be everything your late father wanted you to be. Like, that's bullshit. Nobody wants that in a movie. They want love and they want happiness and they want fairy tale endings because they got miserable lives at home and they're trying to escape by watching a damn movie that was already made and was already a hit. And you screwed up a hit. That's how pathetically shitty you are. You can't even take a hit. And you have to destroy it. You suck.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah, we do want this unless it's a puppet coming in to save you because that will reboot into the end of time because it'll never happen.
And then there's a whole, I could go on and on. There's a whole thing about Peter Dinklage. You know who he is?
Yes, he's the dwarf from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones. He was bitching that they were using dwarfs in the Seven Dwarfs and that they were making a movie with
damned if you
dwarfs.
do.
But you know what? Guys. If you look up the definition of dwarf, it doesn't mean a human with dwarfism.
Guys, honestly,
it's two different things.
These dudes out there are struggling. We're going to see that later in the show. So let us believe in the fantasy that guys can come in and save the day. It's a fantasy, right? So just give us that, Disney, for crying out loud. God damn.
Yeah, I agree. Pilled is blowing up tonight, guys. If you're not on pilled.net, if you do not have an account on pilled.net, you are missing a tremendous chat we're having over there. Our restream chat is blowing up as well. Everybody is everywhere tonight engaging with the show. You guys, I need you to look at the restream chats for me tonight because I'm looking at the Pilled chat and pulling up clips. So we gotta
restream is popping.
Yeah,
the only thing that can make that Snow White. This is going to be bad. I can't say it.
No, we're not going to say it. We're not going to say it.
Puppet
not going to say
Puppet
it.
Go, we're never going out.
No, we're not going to say. Listen, the Papadopouloses are waiting backstage. I want to bring them in because they're really, really good friends. They're great human beings. Yes. They're good people. And look, I'm in the...
After they come, Puppet has to do it.
Puppet's
or
not
I
doing
quit
anything.
the show.
Look,
or I quit the show.
Look, I've been reading. I'm going to quit the show if he does. So I've been reading this fantastic book, Deep State Target by George Papadopoulos. And I even know how to spell Papadopoulos now, by the way. And what I really love is if you look at this book, and you guys should get this book, and I didn't bring him on to talk about this book. I brought him in to talk about this wonderful relationship between George and Simona, because in this book, there's a lot of really good information about how he was targeted by a broken deep state. And we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight because of the Crossfire Hurricane stuff. But there's several chapters in here, essentially, where he talks about how Simona really was his rock. And it's like almost like a love story built into this. And I kind of love that.
Yeah, imagine that, a love story. People actually want to hear love stories.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear one tonight.
Brain just broke. Her brain just melted.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we women, we be like that. Simona,
supportive.
George.
Right. And so I want to bring them on. And so George, Simona, I'm bringing you guys in. Welcome to the new and improved Politically Uncensored with...
Hey, guys.
It's so great to see you all.
It's so great to see you guys.
Hello.
David had some audacity to bring you two on here together because the amount of hotness and intelligence between the two of you literally are going to melt our stream. So yeah, David, thanks.
Basically. You're welcome.
You guys.
I only know hot people. Sorry.
It seems so. I mean, geez.
Puppet Carlson, though, huh?
Well, he
He's
needs
kind
more
of
work.
stealing the show with all of us.
Puppet's stealing the show, guys. I don't know what's going on with this new look. I'm noticing. Here.
Thank you. See?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I think there's a malpractice claim.
I honestly, I'm looking at him. I think you look older.
Do you dig it? Simona, do you dig it?
Don't you think so?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people who take a lot of Ozempic, they look older afterwards.
So you took a lot of
That's
Ozempic?
probably what it is.
Oh, Taylor, what do you think about it? As a girl, I think you look better before.
You thought I looked better before?
I'm joking.
That's okay.
I'm just being silly. I think you have some sort of, I don't know why you started to do makeup too.
Yeah, where did you learn
I'm trying
that
to be
from,
Hollywood.
Puppet? Who did you learn that from? Is what Simona and I want to know.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have that makeup as you do.
Well, I'm using the same bronzer Trump uses.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you can tell.
But
the technique.
Oh, by the way, Maven on Pilled Papadopoulos said, okay, I'm going to say this, the hottest couple ever. Just so you
Thank
know.
you.
That's what's going on in the chat over here on
Yes.
Pilled. They're big
And
fans.
Simona, ciao bella, my Italian sister from another Mr. Baby.
Oh, ciao. Are you Italian too?
Yes, ma'am. My mom immigrated here.
Hai visto?
Parla italiano, tutto bene?
Look, you told me to take a drink with me, right? Look what I'm drinking.
Yes,
what is
ma'am.
that?
Espresso.
Espresso.
Oh, I'm drinking whiskey.
You see what I mean? Like
Salute.
Salute, cheers.
I've become to LA since we've been out here. Kombucha.
Kombucha, George.
Healthy side, guys.
It's basically pickle juice. It's fancy pickle juice for hippies.
George.
That's all that is.
Guys, I don't know what the hell's happened to me out here, but I'm telling you.
My, oh my.
That kombucha makes you look older, George.
Oh, that's
what it does.
Him and not me. It was very gentleman. I'm sorry if I offended you.
No, I don't take offense. Let me ask you two: do you guys like the 1937 version of Snow White, or do you prefer the new version?
All right, I'm a old school kind of guy. I'm the 1937 Snow White all the way. I don't know what the hell they're doing with these remakes of all these incredible movies. They don't make sense. People don't buy it. And I think it was you, Taylor, or David, or Puppet, that was talking about the ratings of how bad they are. Go woke, go broke.
And
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Simona.
No, for me, Snow White is this beautiful girl with the dwarf that we saved that prince. It's so simple, it's so beautiful. You want to dream, right? You want a fairy tale. You want to dream. I don't want to see this whoever she is, like a businesswoman trying to accomplish herself. You can be in love. There is not a scene. You can be saved by God. It's beautiful.
It's a good thing that you guys are saying this, because we have a comment here saying that you two are probably like the OG 1937 romantic love story of Snow White. So there you go.
Oh,
so if I may kind of get into this here, because you two are finding yourselves in the eye of the Crossfire Hurricane, quite literally. So before we like really,
I like that, Taylor. That was good. The eye of the Crossfire Hurricane. Ooh, that should be one of these chapters.
But actually, I mean, you guys became, I mean, George, you were like the face in the beginning of this entire thing. And so before we really get into the nitty gritty, I have to imagine, I mean, you guys are like ride or dies. And the way that this all panned out, the timeline of it all, I mean, you literally got married, if I'm correct, as George, as you were starting to be investigated, right? So did this entire, I mean, just a modern day fairy tale, right? So did this entire experience at the time, did it test your patience, or did it bond you guys closer together in hindsight?
Well, I'll let you start on that one. So, because you were kind of the outside coming into a chaotic, crazy man story. So how was that for you?
Taylor, you made an incredible introduction to crazy story. Okay, so I married him before he even, had to have this horrible experience of going to jail. And I remember at the time, I was interviewed by different networks, including the brother of Papa Carlson, Tucker, and who gave me a book. But, to be honest with you, I'm Italian. I love adventure. I'm a strong, rooted type of woman. I like to defend my man. It's kind of it's in my genes. It's in your genes too. I'm sure about it. I mean, it's like I am overprotective, and it's really part of me. So when I saw him, first of all, I met him at his peak. We were vacationing in Mykonos on super yachts, doing the best life ever. And then when he went down, I said, no way, I'm going to fly to the United States and I'm going to walk through the fire with him. And then the Mueller team didn't understand me. So they thought, okay, to come here under these conditions, she might be a spy. So there is another chapter of harassment of us both. But what I want to tell people is that I think relationships are built on pressures and fire and connection, that it goes beyond the dinner date or everything is fine. Life is not flat. So if you can't build up a life with someone going through up and downs, means it's not real love for me. So this was never drawing me away from him. Actually made my bond stronger. I can never have this with anybody else in the world. So for me, my relationship with him is just unique and special.
Ladies, take notes.
Right?
No notes. Yes.
I mean,
no notes for me.
That's really what it is. I mean, because like Simona said, you could have a great vacation with just about anybody in this world, pretty much, or a nice dinner, at least initially, right? But if you want to build something, you do have to go through those ups and downs. And like she said, when she first met me, I was at an absolute peak. And then just months later, I'm crashing down. Like you said, Taylor and David and Puppet, I was the face of what was deemed the biggest conspiracy in American history. I was sitting on the couch not recognizing myself. There were some, shots of me out there, with the glasses and the suit and the briefcase, whatever they were trying to do. I said, who is that person? Am I a middleman that they were trying to explain? Am I a patsy? Is it a combination? Is this a lot bigger than me? Does it begin and end with me? We had no idea back then. The only thing we knew was that it's a roller coaster ride. We're just going to enjoy it, and we'll see what happens at the end of it. And she stood by me, and we stuck it out together. Of course, there was a lot of chaotic moments. I'm not going to sit here and just say it was all rainbows, because it wasn't. But that was part of the cool process. And then we moved to. The reason we even moved to LA is because we started shooting a docuseries, a reality show about our life going through that insane moment. So we were living in the hills. We kind of befriended people like Tom Arnold, some of these other people, and it just became this crazy story. And I wouldn't change a thing, guys.
Oh, and Simona posing in GQ. Yeah, I saw the receipts. So hot. And I imagine too, Simona, that was a way that was like I saw your photo shoots and interviews, a way to sort of like be empowered in such a chaotic time and kind of reclaim the narrative.
Yeah.
If that was what it was for you.
It was. I was like, I'm not gonna let you destroy my life. When God gives you lemon, make a lemonade. Media were looking at me for false narratives. So she's a Russian spy. No, I'm other things. And I surfed that wave, and we did it together. We lived the good and the bad of Hollywood, as you know. So the crazy liberals, buying into this narrative, but also nice people and trying to be creative as much as we could, but trying to affirm our deep conservative values, because in the end it's who we are. So we never always stood to our truth, and I think this was the biggest strength. But yes, I did modeling, I did acting, I did photo shoots, I did Maxim and everything else. And I enjoyed it. Though we had a kind of rock lifestyle together, that's why they were filming this docuseries. I had the best time of my life with him. But of course, imagine that we were relatively young, I would say, most of the time, where you go through all of that together. So of course, you make space to enjoy it too.
My last thing before Dave does his thing, with that said,
my thing.
Did Crowd Dad's gonna do his thing?
But ask serious questions. These are great questions, though. I'm really enjoying these conversations.
Well, it's perfect. Goes off what Simona said. Now, take this as you will, but once the dust kind of settled, because it was such a tense time, did you kind of like, again, up to interpretation, but let your hair down, so to speak? And how so? On a personal level, like, were you kind of like, okay, and celebrate it anyway?
Totally. When you go through the scrutiny, the manipulation of narratives, when you are on the spotlight for not necessarily the good reasons, then you say, who cares? I was saying a bad word. I would say, like, what? That's who I am. That's what I say, and that's where I fight back with him. And you don't fear anything anymore because they tried everything.
You're like, eat our dust, FBI. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had 3 subpoena, right? Mueller, the FBI, the Congress and Senate, and there is this funny story about Swalwell, sorry, who was interviewing me in Congress, trying to build up a narrative that I was a spy, while actually at the same time it was played by the famous Chinese. Yeah. So, I was tweeting like, you see, you are projecting, you are the fool, and you are trying to build lies about legit people. And, that's brutal, but you have to really have a little bit of boldness inside of you to work through that without being crushed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's so interesting you bring up Eric Swalwell and all these people who literally are doing the things that they try to create. I want to talk about Crossfire Hurricane, an operation created basically to make other people look like the people that they really are. Right? Eric Swalwell sleeping with a Chinese spy, and all the other things that they get away with. We talked about Hillary Clinton before with the signal stuff, and they're calling for everybody's resignation, but nobody was nearly outraged when Joe Biden let 13 Americans die at Abbey Gate, and then also Hillary Clinton having a private server in her basement of some place unsecured and smashing electronics. So whatever. The hypocrisy doesn't give them any credibility. That said, big news today, right? Trump, I can't keep up with him anymore. The news, that the executive orders, everything he does is amazing. But today he said, I'm declassifying everything with respect to Crossfire Hurricane. He said the FBI should be ashamed of themselves. The Justice Department should be ashamed of themselves. And I was at a luncheon, I think it was yesterday. It was Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday. The U.S. Attorney Ed Martin was there from D.C. And to hear him talk about the horrors done to the January 6th people. We have a government now that is looking back on what happened over the last 4 years, and they're not happy about it, right? So now Crossfire Hurricane is about to be exposed, what they did. And you were probably the first person swept up by Crossfire Hurricane when they tried to paint you as some kind of Russian asset. And I guess Simona is some kind of spy as well now. What do you think is going to come out, first of all, in that report, and how does it make you feel knowing that the truth is finally going to be revealed? Pardon aside, the truth is coming out.
Yeah, David, thanks for that. Look, the reason why this is so important, right, is it's just like the JFK stuff. Why are we looking into it now? This was stuff that was over 50 years old. People are saying, why are we looking into it? You're looking into these type of stories now to prevent it from ever happening again. Yeah. It wasn't dealt with when JFK was assassinated. The perpetrators, the culprits were never caught. It was intentionally classified, distorted. The truth was distorted. And then you had Watergate. You had so many new scandals that emerged after that assassination. So what happened with Crossfire Hurricane in 2016? The perpetrators were left off the hook. No one was held accountable, at least initially. And I'm going to get to modern day what's going on. So what happened in 2020? The CIA willfully interfered in the 2020 election. They suppressed a Hunter laptop story. They pulled the wool over the American people's eyes. And then we had Joe Biden. And we had an economic disaster. We had an open border. God knows who's in this country right now. We had a potential for World War III with Russia and Ukraine. All those poor souls that were killed over there for absolutely no reason. And I could go on and on about how disastrous that was. Now,
trillions of dollars spent.
Trillions and trillions of dollars spent. So what I think Trump, why he never let this thing go is because he understands that Crossfire Hurricane is the genesis. It's the source of all of this type of corruption of the last 8 to 10 years, from persecuting American patriots, from January 6th to MAGA grandmas. All of that starts and ends with the actions of the Crossfire Hurricane people. So what I think we're going to find out is, quite frankly, and this is coming directly from somebody who lived this story and knows exactly what's going on. I've testified under oath to Congress. I think what you're going to see is that there was a criminal conspiracy involving not only the FBI, but the CIA and foreign governments. And people say, what do you mean foreign governments? And I'm going to make it very simple. Every 4 years, the biggest event around the world, it's not the World Cup, it's not the Super Bowl, it's a presidential election. Every country around the world has vested interest in who wins. Most of these countries had vested interest in Clinton winning. So they all teamed up with the Obama CIA and with the Comey FBI and said, we're going to take this guy down. And that's why, I don't know if you saw the docu-series that Simona was a lead interviewer on, All the President's Men, on the Tucker,
I saw it.
On the Tucker Carlson network, on your brother's thing.
Yeah.
It kind of explains who was pulling the strings, why they were targeting me in places like London, Tel Aviv, Athens, Rome. It's like an international espionage thriller. So I think that's what the main conclusion is going to be. And then Simona, of course, has her perspective on all that.
Well, since this talk show is uncensored, I want to talk about the honeypots.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about them. Taylor's my honeypot.
So he says.
She's my bang, bang, fang, fang, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
Puppet's getting excited.
Exactly.
We'll see about that. He's doing the good old lead on Simona. You know, we Italian women, we only deal with that for so long, and then we, you know. So
exactly. Puppet, you have to adapt your strategy.
What she said.
All right, honeypots. So you're about to tell us about honeypots.
So honeypots, first of all, I wasn't with him when this happened. So this idea that everybody tells me, oh my God, are you upset? No, I'm not. Just shows you that he had such an intuition in understanding these girls, every man's dream. You are just there on your own, and at some point in your life they're gonna throw at you all these girls available and this kind of stuff. And immediately connected the dots, and he was also talking to me about it. So let's talk about the honeypot. I mean, I know one of them used to live in Los Angeles. I'm still looking for her, but I don't find her. What do you think about it? A little investigation, this declassification will finally we will find the honeypots.
Can we do a show called Honeypot Hunters? Honeypot Hunters.
Honeypot 101. What to look for, what to evade, the signals, the traits.
Okay.
It can be kind of like a anti-spy segment, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Honeypot Hunters with the Papadopoulos.
And Puppet is so mobile, we can just toss him. Like if we need to investigate a little bit, we need to go out to LA we just toss him in wherever they won't even know he's there. We can get all the insights.
Like a sticky bomb. We just throw him on something and he'll just go into their suitcase and listen to everything. Honeypot Hunters. We're going to start this organization.
Incognito.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do that because I think it's a big chapter of this Russia Gate.
So tell me more about that. So they were trying to, because I read in your book, George, they would use like certain women, and it seemed like, who do you think was involved in that? Do you think they were trying to set you up? Simona? Do you think they were setting him up?
Of course, they were trying to gather information and or record whatever he was saying and twist it in a way that would fit a certain narrative. That's their job. So you have the FBI you pay taxes for to throw at you women. No, say it like that looks good. But you think they're trying to make you legal problems, then it's outrageous.
But David, here's where it gets even more bizarre and more strange, and why it involves all these different countries and different cities. None of this stuff was happening to me in the U.S. This was all happening to me abroad. Weird events going on in Athens, in Greece, in London. This infamous situation wasn't happening in a swanky hotel in New York or L.A. It was happening in a swanky hotel in Mayfair, London. So all of this stuff, they were like dragging me out of the United States to like launch these black ops or whatever the word is, where it's like extremely underground, illegal activities that goes beyond the scope of the Constitution, what the FBI can even do in the United States. So they were literally like launching the most illicit, illegal operations they could have imagined against me, using me outside of the United States. And, the thing that's so interesting about the whole Kash Patel and Dan Bongino situation is these guys made their career talking about this story that we're talking about here. And those two guys are now at the head of the FBI and the deputy director of the FBI. So I think when Trump made those appointments, it shows how laser focused he was on this story and shows how important this really was to get out.
Before we let you guys go, I mean, between the honeypots, George, you were in federal prison for 12 days. So now this comes out, which is absolutely huge. And as you said, is the crux of so many problems with the deep state, right? In hindsight, from your experience, you've had a little bit of arm's length at this point. Now with this coming out today, what is your sort of big takeaway from the entire experience in hindsight and retrospect? And you guys are telling me this, I feel like I was born yesterday. Like, are the American people naive to what is really going down? I mean, this sounds like a crazy action thriller, psychological, I don't even know, like fiction, truly.
Ziona, what do you think? You started this one.
It's really like a script, better than the scripts they're doing that in Hollywood, but it's reality. And when you want to know what these people do, look at what they accuse you of, right? So they project at every level. And I don't know, they were throwing a honeypot at him, the girl in his life, she becomes a spy. And they go after you with their same. So they're vicious. And honestly, nobody's prepared to think this is the reality, but it is. And so that's important that people now see that his book aged very well. I mean, the story that he wrote years ago right now is being confirmed by the facts that, the classifications and everything that has emerged, ever since about this hoax, this huge phony investigation that had no other purpose than to legitimize Donald Trump. And is back, is stronger than ever, and that we are vocal more than ever. And so that's our time to set the narrative straight.
Yeah, and I would just like follow up with that. The last comments, I would just say, look, always stay true to yourself. Don't ever lose hope when you know you're on the right side of the truth or history. Even when so many people wanted me to sell out or heard the sellout or offer me to do God knows what, to spread lies and disinformation, I said, look, I know this story is much bigger than me. I know if I just stick to the truth, stay true to who I am, true to who she is, we're going to be fine in the end. And that's really exactly what happened. And today was such a beautiful day to see the president himself say, finally, we're going to get all this out there for the American people and the world to see that what people like Papadopoulos, Roger Stone, President Trump, General Flynn, others were saying was true. And most importantly for me, to allow over 80 million people that voted for Trump be vindicated, because I think at the end of the day, they were the ones that were ultimately disenfranchised, and their will was attempted to be usurped and replaced with something they never wanted. So thanks so much, guys, for the opportunity and the time tonight to kind of share these thoughts. And it's a great day.
Your work was not in vain, either
Yeah.
of you. So cheers to that. Even with your kombucha, George. Yes.
Kombucha.
Yes,
There you go.
It's a coffee.
Before you guys go, a couple of things. You have your new show is doing fantastic. I want to tell people where they can watch your show. The folks on Pill.net are screaming and clamoring to have you over there to create accounts over on Pill, by the way. But people want to hear about your show, and I want to talk about the launch, official launch of your show, and other things where people can come and find more information, because you guys are doing a bunch of stuff now, right?
Yes, thank you. So you have been guest. We miss Taylor. Taylor, you have to come next with these two guys.
I love that.
It's Global View. You can find us on YouTube. We also created a X page that redirects to the channel. We had incredible guests to debut as Steve Bannon, but also other incredible guests like Papa Carson and David Pollack.
That's right.
So we really have a really lineup. I invite people to go and check the channel, subscribe, just to get notified, because we're dropping episodes daily. And of course, we want you back.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see you.
All of you.
We're going to see you in April at the official live. I guess is that your official kickoff that you're doing?
This is actually the official launch of the South Florida Young Republican. And on occasion of the launch of this new organization, we will have a live show with special guests.
Got it.
We will be a seat at the table in Naples, Florida, and we will have special guests we can't announce. But it will be a launch party for the South Florida Young Republican Club.
God, I thought it was a launch party for you guys. That's what I get for not reading things. Either way, we're going to try to get down there to support you guys and and have a lot of fun with our favorite Papadopoulos. Say it for me, Puppet.
I think we're the Papadopoulos.
The Papadopoulos. The Papadopoulos.
They're popping with couple goals. I'll tell you all that.
Papadopoulos.
There you go.
Can I say that too? Thank you, Taylor. Before I let you guys go, I have to tell you again. Guys, get this book, Deep State Target. Check out All the President's Men has been discussed. But really, I think one of the key I really think, and I love that you guys do so much stuff together, because I believe that the fact that you have such a strong relationship, I think, is how you both were able to survive everything. And there's a lot of stuff in here about how Simona was there for you, and you guys were able to really stand together to fight all of this. And so I love you guys so much for all of those things. And again, I can't thank you enough for being here. And congratulations on the show. And we look forward to seeing you guys again real soon.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Great seeing you guys.
Vindication Day.
That's right. Vindication Day. It's coming. Good night, everyone. I mean, good night, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're
right?
amazing.
I know.
Awesome.
They're some of my favorite people.
They are amazing.
They're just real. They're real people. And when you meet people, and I've met so many people that have found themselves in the crossfire of the hurricane, and they're all the consistent thing is they're all good people who people think they know because they watch the fake news. And you mentioned somebody's name, and this is why declassifying all these things is so important, because people are, oh, you had to get pardoned. You see the same things about a lot of people we know that got caught up in all this stuff. They have so many opinions. It's about to come out that not only were these people innocent, But these people were targeted by the U.S. government because they supported Trump. And that's what the best stuff that's going to come out of this is going to be. And that is a great couple. What happened to George was criminal, and somebody should go to jail for it.
You know what I love what George said, and I've experienced this, even though it was on the like entertainment media side, what he said about sticking true to your mission and your vision and what you know to be true when everyone else tells you to bow out, to stay quiet, I have been in that position, and I pulled a George and was like, basically. So I don't know if we can do this here, and that's the point of Politically Uncensored, because case in point with these guys, we say and do and think what we believe, and in the end, we will come out on top. Like, I will not be on top of Puppet's disco balls anytime soon. So hallelujah, amen. And that is, the mission of the show. By the way, speaking of guys, you wanted to know, Dave, about our comments here?
Yeah.
The people really want to know. They are on the edge of their seat, and they want to know the joke that Puppet was going to make about Snow White. And I kind of signaled to them telepathically that he would tell it after the interview. So the people are sat and they want to hear it.
Wait. Before we do that, though, do you want to talk about...
I don't even remember now.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Oh, man.
So listen, we had one more thing. I know we're running a little late, but whatever. It was such a great interview. It was worth going late.
It was.
We wanted to talk about, I think her name's Caitlin Bennett.
How these
Oh, yeah,
idiots-
I remember now.
Tell the joke. It's a
we have
couple
2,000
Christmas
people
miracle.
watching live right now.
Okay,
go. It's your time to shine.
2,000
Go.
people. Just be
Puppet.
really careful.
Just-
You don't want to
peer
lose
pressure you.
to
Don't let him
2,000
peer-
people.
Just
that
play
you-
the clip, Dave. Just play the
It's,
clip.
it's
All right,
Elon's ex. It's
playing the
Elon.
clip.
Anything goes.
Playing the clip.
Fight in the Revolutionary War.
Oh, God. In the Revolutionary War?
It was, I don't know if this is right. I mean, it sounds so stupid. Was it the Spanish? Wait, what are your majors?
Business? Biology.
Okay. Elementary education. Oh. What shape is the U.S. Pentagon building?
Isn't it just a square?
How many U.S. senators are there?
6, 7. 6, 7.
How many amendments are in the Bill of Rights?
There's a lot. I know 17.
Who won the Civil War?
Oh, shoot. It's East or West, right?
Well, it's the Civil War, so it's the civilians versus whoever was in power. How many justices are on the Supreme Court?
Justices. So, like when you say that, like, you mean like the FBI?
Who is on the $100 bill?
Oh, I know that.
Abraham Lincoln?
Nope.
Abraham Lincoln.
Come on, bro.
That's the First Amendment. What's the second?
Right to vote?
Name 3 states that border Canada. We'll just do one per person.
Asia.
I didn't know Canada had a border.
Yeah.
The last one didn't know Canada had a border.
I hate it here.
I mean,
I hate it here.
That's a fair thing.
No,
I mean, considering
Dave,
the U.S.
do
didn't have
not.
a border until
Dave.
a few months ago.
Do not justify anything any of these nimwits say. This is the only time you will hear me drop an F-bomb on this show. These fucking idiots don't even know, okay, their own assholes from their elbows. I want out of this simulation. This is embarrassing. I can't unsee any of this. And I am embarrassed on behalf of the entire American population. Deport them.
Yeah.
Deport them.
Well, that's why we got rid of the Department of Education.
Well,
right?
that
We
is
talked about
that is
last-
the exact reason we had to get rid of the Department of Education. Shit, the one girl was a elementary education major. Jesus Christmas.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
horrid.
On every level.
But
I
this
mean, you
is
couldn't
what
even get the Pentagon.
I know. Well, they'd
It's a
have to know
pentagon.
shapes. They'd have to know shapes.
But I mean, and they didn't know the Benjamins? Benjamin Franklin?
No, they don't know
Maybe they've
anything.
never seen that much
They don't
money.
even know what planet they're on. They don't know any. They're never going to see that much money. I hope they don't deserve that much money.
It's true.
And I don't know.
They probably
are
have that money.
They are literally. They should be classified mentally retarded. This is not okay.
Yeah,
it's
well,
not okay.
They are.
This is why the Department of Education has failed a lot of people, but I think the reason why they don't know anything about American history is because they're trying to erase it. So why teach them something? It's like cursive. The people educating them, so yeah, they don't need cursive anymore. Let's not teach it.
They don't need American history because you're just going to be You got to learn about, I guess, Sharia law or something, because that's
No.
what you're going to get.
Exactly.
The civil right between civilians. These people don't even know what the Constitution. Like, get out of my face, get out of my house, get out of my live stream.
They don't know who we
no
got
more
fought in
airtime.
the Revolutionary War.
No, it's beyond embarrassing. But, I don't know if we want to end it on this note, you guys, but someone in the chat says, tell the time you towered over Danny DeVito, the midget. I don't know if that's directed at Puppet or at me, because I do have a Danny story where he is like a foot shorter. I'm only 5'2". He was at my boobs on the red carpet, and I said to him, Danny, this is awkward, this like boob eye level thing happening here, and he loved it, and it's all on camera, and so it's on my YouTube if you guys want to check that out. Unless, Puppet, you have a Danny DeVito story I don't know about, but I take it he's like your brother from another mother with the height dwarf thing happening. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we're like the same guy. I mean,
did I just appropriate your puppetness?
I'm a Danny DeVito.
I like
He's
it.
very popular these days.
Yeah, and
he's been popular for like
these days,
but he's retro popular. You know.
True. Well, that's because nobody has any talent anymore, and so,
all the kids like Danny DeVito, and you say, "Oh, you ever watch one of his movies like Twins or something?" They're like, "What?"
No.
Like, okay.
He was watching Taylor's Twins. All right,
yes,
guys.
He was.
It's on camera.
Yeah. Great show tonight. Great guests. Great interaction on pill.net. Guys,
Not
thank you
midgets either.
so much to Maven, Jolly Roger, to Matt1776, to big time thanks to Gorilla, who gave us a fleet over there, gifted us a fleet. I mean, it has been a really fantastic chat over on and to Wild Irish for sharing everything as always.
And our YouTube chatters too. Don't miss the YouTube chatters.
Well, I'm going there next. Our YouTube chatters has been fired tonight. We thank everybody for being in the chat. Listen, we're here every Thursday, every Tuesday, not in that order. I think we do Tuesday first.
Oh, no, Dave. You watch too much of these kids.
I know, but they made me dumb. So Tuesday, Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, we're
The
always
opposite.
live. We're always in the chat. We love to read your comments. We like to put them on our airtime. We like to interact with our people on Pilled. Guys, this is our hangout. This is what we're going to be doing. You're uncensored. Free your mind.
Kind of.
And hang out with us every Tuesday, Thursday at 10 p.m. And we'll be back. So Thursday, I guess we have Joy Vila, right?
We're supposed to be having Joy. We're going to talk about, and I cannot wait to have Joy, because we are slated to talk about this unhinged biatch, Jasmine, who's literally on another planet like these kids. And I know that my girl Joy will have some words. So finally, thank God for Simona, because it's been the first female energy in the sausage fest of Politically Uncensored for all this time. So Joy is going to continue on that train, Thursday night, and you guys do not want to miss it.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have the guys for the Pilled audience over there. Matt Couch is joining us here too, so I think he'll be next Tuesday, if not. Yeah, but I think next Tuesday. So Matt Couch is coming back on, our old friend from the DC After Dark show. So we're really excited about that. We got a lot of guests coming up that you guys are going to be thrilled to see. We're really excited for the show. It's going gangbusters. 2,000 plus people watching live right now.
Love you guys.
Yeah, we really love this audience, and thank you guys for joining us. We're going to do this every week. We're here for you. Free your minds, everybody. And Puppet, you always have a thing you like to say before we say bye-bye.
Yeah. For your mind and your mouth will follow. That's what we're doing now, buddy.
All right. So the fleece still stops here and all that stuff?
The fleece can stop here.
Okay.
I think
your bad jokes should stop here.
Yeah.
The disco ball's got his tongue, I guess.
Yeah, the disco ball has got a lot
your
of
censorship should stop here.
Well, anyway. Gotta protect
everything else.
I gotta protect these folks. I gotta protect these folks from you, Puppet. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We will see you next week. Oh, wait, see you
Thursday.
Thursday.
We'll see you Thursday.
I'm shutting down.
I am not letting him do another Fever Dream Disco Ball Studio 54 seance on you again.
Yeah, thank you.
It ends now. It ends with us.
We're done. All right, I'll see you guys Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, live on Politically Uncensored. Good night, everybody.
Free your mouth every Tuesday and Thursday right here at 10 p.m. Eastern.